Hi y'all, this is Larry at Deep South, Texas. It's the 20th of October and it is hot. The hot weather was supposed to be over for the year, but we're going to be in the 90s for the next few days. But the garden, it's looking good. Let's take a look at what's going on. This bunch of bananas is looking great. Real happy with that. The other two trees don't have any bananas on them yet, and I think probably they will put some on, but it'll probably be too late to harvest them this year. But this is going to be good. A couple months ago I had so many empty raised beds, my wife decided she wanted to fill them up, so she took a couple of them and planted corn. Now, I have tried planting corn in the summer before, and it's just too hot here. But, you know, we may get a couple of ears of corn out of here. The corn has tasseled. At least some of them have silks on them. So, I don't know. We may get a few ears. That'll be fun. She also planted some bush green beans. Again, I've tried these in the summer before with no luck. But these are still growing, and they look like they're just now getting ready to flower. So if it cools back down a little bit, I think we might get some green beans. My turmeric and ginger haven't looked this good for years. So I think they like this spot. We'll be harvesting these in November, so I'm looking for a pretty nice year. And the eggplant has been doing well. It's been growing a lot of small eggplants for quite some time, but since it did cool down a little bit, now they're getting to be a little bit nicer size. So looking for some eggplant harvest here in the next month or two. My watermelon plant that sort of sat around and did nothing all summer has finally put on a couple watermelons. They're small, but I think that they're going to make it. If nothing else, the chickens will get watermelons this year. So here's the raised bed I planted my onion seeds in, and these were planted 4 weeks ago. So these were seeds that I saved off the onions I grew, and they germinated pretty well. Need to start putting some fertilizer on these, I think. The same day that I planted the onion seeds, I planted some onion sets. These are a lot of small onions that I harvested that were really too small to deal with. So I just saved them, threw them in the refrigerator, and planted them out again 4 weeks ago. And they're looking good. So we'll have green onions now anytime we want them, and we'll let them grow, and maybe we'll get a few slicers out of there. I also planted some scallions that I purchased at the grocery store. They were pretty slow in coming up, but they're coming up now. Looking forward to harvesting those, probably in April or May. In my last video 2 weeks ago, I planted my carrot seeds, and they all germinated. In about a week they germinated. I took the cover off of them at that time, and they're continuing to grow and looking good. Spacing is not too horribly bad, but we'll have to do a little bit of thinning. So last week I hauled in about 6 wheelbarrows of compost from my compost pile. Started filling up some of the beds and the barrels, getting ready for some planting later on. And I filled up all my containers over here, getting them ready to plant, because these will be the next ones I use. I'll be planting my broccoli and my cabbage out here. I've already started those. Let's go take a look at how they're doing. So here are my broccoli and cabbage starts. This is the broccoli, Green Magic broccoli, and I planted these seeds 17 days ago. Probably in 4 or 5 days I will up-pot these plants into potting soil and get them moved outside to begin the hardening off process, and then hopefully by the 1st of November they'll be ready to plant in those pots out there. The speckled butter beans, which have looked pretty healthy all summer but really haven't produced any pods for the last 3 months. We got a little cooler weather, and now we're starting to see some pods begin to form again. So pretty happy with that. We probably have some out here that are ready to harvest now. These are really pretty seeds and tasty as well. The navel orange tree, not tremendously productive this year. There are a few hanging on, but it's been very, very hot and very, very dry this year. But I've picked a few, had them for breakfast, and there are some more that will be ready here shortly. Typically, I harvest these in November. They're ready. They're going to be ready anytime now. We've got another variety of orange out here. This tree is, I don't know, 20 years old. Anyway, there's oranges growing on it. We'll get a harvest off of here as well. The Meyer lemon tree out by the chicken coop has been pretty loaded with lemons this year. I picked a grocery bag full of lemons last night and turned them into lemon juice. They're just starting to turn yellow, but they're ready even at this green stage. So couldn't be happier about that. The new pullets, new little chicks we started this year, are pullets now, almost fully grown. For the most part, they're laying. Got a couple new roosters in the flock now. So they tend to hide out under this group of volunteer sunflowers, because we've had some hawks in the area for the last couple weeks. So they hide out under there because they feel safe. There's the old man rooster there. He's probably 3 or 4 years old right now. I came out and collected 3 eggs earlier today, and I see we have one more. We'll get that one. Nice cute egg. Strangely, my older hens, about the time that the pullets started laying eggs, they basically stopped. I wasn't expecting that. We were getting, you know, not a lot of eggs, 2 or 3 eggs a day, but now that the pullets started laying, the older hens, they just stopped laying eggs. I don't know if they'll start again, but we'll find out. Well, this is my compost pile out here in my backyard. And about 9 months ago, when we created the run for the chickens, and so we put them in the run so they didn't have access to the backyard, I wasn't thinking that they wouldn't be back here turning my compost pile like they used to be. So now I kind of have to turn it by hand. It's a little more work. I really miss that. But so far I've taken about 6 wheelbarrows of nice compost out of here, and I probably got another 6 to go once I get down below those wood chips. Earlier this year we planted some blackberries out here by the chicken run. We had tried to grow blackberries in the past, but I didn't give them any irrigation water and they didn't do very well. But now I brought in some water back here, and they're looking pretty good. We won't get any blackberries this year, but hopefully next year we'll have some. So the next thing to get planted in the garden are that broccoli and the cabbages. Plant them over here, and then after that, hopefully they'll get planted about the 1st of November. And after that, we'll be looking forward to planting potatoes, probably the last week in December. And also in December we'll start the peppers. And the same way we started the broccoli and the cabbage, we'll start the pepper plants, and then tomatoes a week or 2 later. And they should go in the ground hopefully the middle of February, but we'll have to take a look at the weather when that rolls around. Anyway, I'll try to keep you up to date on what's going on. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it that thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.